downtown where you can get a date for 50, 60, 70, even 80% off the original social marketplace price. Now available in paperback and e-readers, E-Steam Horror of the Hyena Woman. Hell's aspiring angel takes on a wicked werewolf in this action-packed all-new E-Steam series adventure. Get E-Steam Horror of the Hyena Woman in paperback and e-readers today. Better get the coleslaw, y'all, cause we're having us a barbecue. Single mother emasculated the stepfather of her 3 children by other men by saying that he was a simp during a podcast.
Do a lot if we really feeling you. It's the ones we don't like. We make them do it all.
So you ain't like your husband?
I ain't trying to embarrass my husband even more on the internet, but he was a simp and I seen the opportunity and I took it.
Well, I'm saying what his qualities was.
I mean, for one, he accepted the fact that I have 3 kids.
So you got 3 kids too?
I have 3 children.
Now, in this video that went viral on social media, a woman who had 3 children from a previous relationship talked about the man that she married to become the stepfather of those children and her second husband by calling him a simp because he went out here and married her with 3 children. And as this woman sat on this podcast, she basically proved a lot of points that I made in my classic blog and viral video, Why Real Men Avoid Single Mothers, and further proof points that I made in my popular ebook, The Misadventures of Captain Save-'Em. And as she was sitting on this podcast, she basically emasculated her second husband, who became the stepfather of her 3 children, and wound up smashing him straight in the face with some virtual kryptonite doo-doo, as this dude basically thought he could go out here and put on his Mickey Mouse galoshes and his Ben Cooper cape, go flying in the air to play Captain Save-'Em, and his reward was getting completely humiliated and emasculated during this podcast, where this woman basically sat there and showed absolutely no respect for this man as related to the marriage that he got into. Now, what this woman did is just basically what a lot of modern black women will do if they get involved with a second man after having children with other men. And what they will do is basically show contempt for that second man because this man is not someone they really care about. No, as Mr. Chris from Chris & Company says in many of his radio shows and many of the live streams we participate in during collaborations, when it comes to women like this, they are not looking to be a helpmeet. What they're looking for is help, and what this woman was looking for was someone to help with those 3 kids that she went out having with these other dudes. And sadly, this guy didn't get any sort of memo as related to how to have a relationship at all. No, if he had gotten some sort of information from another man, he wouldn't have gotten involved with this woman. I mean, had this guy went out here and spent $3.99 on my ebook, Stop Simping Why Men Don't Need Finance to Get Romance, or $14.99 on the paperback version of Stop Simping Why Men Don't Need Finance to Get Romance, or went out here and picked up Misadventures of Captain Save-'Em, or even watched my videos on why real men avoid single mothers, he could have avoided this complete humiliation at the hands of this woman, because basically the main reason why this woman went out here and went on a podcast and continued to express her contempt for this man is mainly because she had no real respect for him, because she didn't see him as a man she needed to regard. No, what she saw this man was as a tool that she could use to go out here and be able to have a safe haven to stay in, like I talk in my ebook, Misadventures of Captain Save-'em, a place to basically warehouse her 3 kids, a place where she could go out here and have a bed to sleep in and a place to stay. That's what she saw this guy as, a utility to use to go from point A to point B. And she was one of these women who was never emotionally available to this man because her heart already belonged to somebody else. Now, this basically proves a point that Ringo makes in his videos and live streams on Ringo TV Reactions, where he talks about soul ties and how when women go out here and have sex with a man, they basically have the spirit and DNA of that man attached to them, and they're still spiritually and emotionally bonded to that man, and her heart and emotions are connected to that man. And in most cases, they're connected to that man that they went out here and had those children with. And because their heart and soul are tied to that other man, that's the man that they truly care about. That's the man that they love. And that's the man they want to go out here and have a connection with. Unfortunately, that dude wasn't ever interested in that woman. And whenever he wasn't interested in that woman, this is what led to her winding up in a place where she became emotionally damaged, because what she hoped to do by going out and getting involved with this guy, who was the baby daddy of her kids previously, what she hoped possibly, as I see it from many black women, is participate in a covert contract where they hope to get this man to commit by getting pregnant by this other man. And as they get pregnant by this other man, they're hoping that this will lead to that man making a commitment to them, and they hope that this would lead to them bonding to get closer. Unfortunately, when it comes to these kind of guys, like these baby daddies, these guys basically want to smash and dash, and once they smash and dash, they wind up leaving this woman mentally, emotionally, and spiritually broken. And after they leave this woman mentally, emotionally, and spiritually broken, what happens is this woman starts to become very jaded, very bitter, and very cynical. And instead of seeing a man as someone they respect or regard, what they do is start expressing their contempt for men as they look to participate in hypergamy. And as they look to participate in hypergamy, they look to monkey branch to another man, hoping to find a male out here who doesn't have any sort of life skills or survival skills, social skills, or critical thinking. And this is the guy they hope to get involved with, and they hope to, again, create a codependent relationship with that man where they hope to have the power because they've become insecure from the other man breaking their heart, and they hope to get involved with a man that they hope to get power over. And that's where these women start scoping out the social marketplace for one of these beta males. And as they scope out the social marketplace for one of these beta males, what they do is go out here and get involved with this male, and get involved with this male who doesn't really understand how things are supposed to work, because these men have no male life skills or male survival skills, or again, critical thinking or ability to use logic and reason to navigate life as a man. Moreover, they have never been taught, as related to the Word of God, how to their role as a man and how they're supposed to operate as a man. And since they don't know how to operate as a man, what happens is they think it's okay to get involved with this woman who's already been in a previous relationship and has children with another man, not understanding as a man you are supposed to be the head and steward of your household, and you're supposed to be serving in God's order. And as you serve in the Most High's order, you're supposed to be looking for a woman who is suitable to be a wife to you, someone who looks to help meet your needs. Unfortunately, because these men are in many cases raised by single mothers, what happens to these guys is instead of getting that helpmeet will help them build their own household and have their own family, is they get involved with a woman who needs help. And as they get involved with this woman who needs help, basically the roles get completely reversed. And instead of the man leading the household, he is in a place where he's submitting to the woman. And as he submits to the woman, this is where the woman goes out here and expresses her contempt for this man, expresses this contempt for this man because she doesn't respect him, she doesn't regard him. No, she basically sees him as a tool, and in many cases not only sees him as a simp, but basically sees him as the final simp, something I talk about in a classic video that I want to leave a link to, because the final simp is the guy that many of these women who are baby mamas or single mothers get involved with, and the final simp is the one who thinks he's going to have a great relationship with this woman, but in many cases oftentimes winds up getting disrespected and winds up getting completely disrespected by that woman because she takes out all of her anger on this man and expresses all of her rage on this man that she had from the other men that she had failed relationships with. She takes out all of that anger on that man who's sitting there in this household feeling like he is completely emasculated because he has no power in that household. This woman basically running his household, her kids have more authority than he does, and that's what happens to this guy, and that's what this woman is basically expressing in her disrespect that is directed straight at this dude, because she goes on a podcast with another black man and calls him a simp straight in front of that black man and says that she's basically going out here and saying that she's here to get a bag from that guy. And that's just completely embarrassing and humiliating for a man. And that's where any smart man would be drawing up divorce papers talking about as related to cruelty overall. That's where a smart man would do that. But when it comes to a simp, he doesn't understand this, and he lets a woman, again, openly and flagrantly disrespect him right on the air of a podcast, go on the air and say she doesn't love him and she's just there for a bag. She goes on the air and lets him and says something, again, as disrespectful as this. And sadly, what happens with these guys is they don't see how they're being disrespected. No, because these guys have low self-esteem, and because they have low self-esteem and low self-worth, they believe the best they can do is a single mother with 3 kids, and they believe they have to settle for a woman like this, and believe that they have to settle for a woman like this because they believe that the women are scarce. This is something a lot of guys from single mother households grow up learning. Oh, women are scarce, access to women are scarce, and that's not the case at all. No, that's something I learned back when I was a preteen, when I read a Newsweek article that said that there were 4 women for every 1 man. And as a result of reading that article, I remember being 15 years old and having a girl openly disrespect me by saying I could do nothing for her because she was involved with a guy who was in and out of jail. And that's where I just basically said, okay, I'm going to charge you to the game and move on in my head. And that's the first time I ever took respect as related to a woman, because the same girl came back to me later on in '89 and I just blew her off. And again, blew her off because, again, you openly disrespect me. And again, if you disrespect someone, this is where you basically just leave that person completely alone. That's what you got to do as a man. But sadly, many of these simps don't have the intangibles of manhood to understand concepts like dignity, which means you have a sense of worth as a man and a value of yourself as a man, a sense of self-respect where you understand that you are a person who has a right to be regarded, a sense of self-worth where you understand your value as a man. Sadly, many of these guys out here who are these Captain Save-ems, they are out here thinking that because of their inexperience, they can go out here and looking for get an easy deal by getting involved with a single mom like this and marrying her and being the stepfather who steps up, not understanding what this woman really wants to do is go out here and kick you in the crotch, knock you down, squat down, pull down them skid mark jockey draws, and then drop a big fat turd of kryptonite doo-doo straight in your face, and then smash that in your face with her run over Jimmy Choo shoes. That's what that woman wants to do as related to many of these Captain Save-ems. What they want to do is go out here and smash the kryptonite doo-doo straight in your face as you're sitting there wearing your Ben Cooper cape and your Mickey Mouse galoshes, looking like a complete fool, looking to save a woman that basically doesn't want to be saved, because when you sit there in the middle of a podcast with another man and disrespect the man you're married to, that basically shows that this marriage is one that is basically over at that point for any healthy man. Again, once a woman goes out here and openly disrespects you in front of people, that's where you walk away from that woman and you leave her to the streets. That's where you basically write that woman off, because if she cannot go out here and show you basic respect, then you don't need to regard having this relationship with this woman, because again, your woman is a reflection of you, and if the person reflecting you is basically showing nothing but contempt for you, that shows that this man is a really weak man. It shows that this man has low self-esteem, because the woman who reflects you should be out here looking to go out here and show a positive example of you in public. She should be speaking highly of you in public. Moreover, she should be checking folks who want to disrespect you, because if people are disrespecting you, they are disrespecting her. And that's what a helpmeet would say. Hey, you can't not be talking bad about my man, because that's saying something about me. It's saying that I'm not really taking care of my business. That's what any quality woman would tell you. She would say, look, you ain't gonna be talking bad about my man or disrespecting my man straight to my face, because when you disrespect him, you disrespect me. You're saying that I don't make good choices as a woman. You're saying that I'm not somebody who knows what she's doing as a woman, that I'm not able to handle my business. That's what a woman of character will do. She will stand by her man, because she understands she has to stand with that man in order to survive in this world. And if he's somebody that she doesn't regard, then what happens is, no, she's not standing with the man, she's standing on her own. And basically, as she's standing on her own, she's looking to step all over you. That's what many of these dudes don't understand, these simps out here. They don't understand that you're stepping to the side of a woman who isn't standing with you and is looking to again step all over you after she winds up squatting and dropping the kryptonite doo-doo straight in your face. That's what this woman is doing. And after she again smashes it in the face with a run over Jimmy Choo shoe, she's out to screw you over. And when she sees a better prospect, what she's going to do is look to monkey branch over to that other prospect, and monkey branch over to that other prospect, not only getting alimony to maintain her lifestyle that she had with this beta male, but also get child support with those kids, because he took them on as his family. He stepped up on, and as he's so-called stepping up, he's getting stomped on by this woman. And that's the sad part with this dude. He never saw the big picture as related to things. He never saw the big picture as related to what this woman was looking to do to him as related to this relationship, because she never was looking to pair bond with this man, never looking to care for this man. That's what this obese woman with the weave was not looking to do. She wasn't looking to again build a relationship with this man. No, she was looking to get a safe haven to be taken care of, and looking for help with her kids, and looking to again see this guy as a joke, see him as a joke, and that she basically, again, made mockery of on this show, made mockery of this dude on this show, made a complete fool of him, completely emasculated him, completely humiliated him. That's what happened here to this dude. He just basically got destroyed as a man. And you've got to, again, realize that there are intangibles of your manhood that have value to not even think about getting involved with this kind of woman. Because that was a lesson I learned way back when I was 9 years old, when I was watching the Pix News on Channel 11, when I heard a story about a guy murdering another guy over a single mom. And ever since that day, I understood you don't get involved with single mothers, and you don't get involved with women who already got kids by another man. No, those women are sufficiently obligated, and because women are emotional, their emotions are tied to another man because their soul is tied to another man. And since their emotions are tied to another man and they're bonded to another man, there's no way they can connect with you as a man to have a relationship with you. There's no way they can connect with you or have any sort of care for you because their heart belongs to another man. And since their heart belongs to another man, you need to leave them alone to go be with that other man and go out here and find a healthy woman to go be with. That's what men have to do as related to these single moms. And again, I write books like this to help men avoid situations like this because I grew up in the South Bronx. I've heard women, as I'm riding the bus to work or riding the bus to school, hear these women out here bragging about how they're going to get child support off these dudes, going out here making fun of these dudes, going having no respect for these dudes. But these dudes sitting up there because they're, again, raised by single mothers, sitting up there thinking, oh, I got to put these women on a pedestal like Mama, like the late Tupac Shakur talked about in his Dear Mama song. Again, these guys got a bad case of the Dear Mama syndrome, thinking these women are just like Mama. No, the woman you are involved with is not like Mama. That was a lesson I learned back when I was 13 years old. That was one of the other lessons I learned about manhood from a family member who had an issue with a girlfriend. And that was another lesson that stayed with me after the first lesson of learning not to get involved with single moms from growing up in the South Bronx, that your mama is a special relationship and is one special woman in your life. And no woman is ever going to be your mama because your mama is your first teacher. She's a leader in your life, but a man is supposed to be the leader of his own life. And again, a man is looking for a helpmeet to help meet his needs, not a woman who needs help. Yeah, mama is somebody you help in her older age when she gets elderly. You take care of mama, but your woman is supposed to be working to serve you and work with you. That's a completely different relationship. And sadly, many simps and Captain Save'ems don't learn this lesson because, one, they're too green as related to the game of the social marketplace. Two, many of these men, because of their lack of inexperience, go looking for an easy deal, and they look to get with these single mothers and other dysfunctional women that are strippers and other women, not understanding these women are predators and looking to prey on men. And they're looking to prey on men because they basically blew their shot in the social marketplace to become a wife, blew their shot to get that esteemed title of wife that God has given women, blew their shot at being able to get married. They basically blew their shot, and now basically what they want to do is find a big fat juicy simp, find a naive and inexperienced guy who doesn't understand how things work, doesn't understand his role as a man, and they find this guy, go out here, get involved with him, similar to television simps like Cleveland Brown from the Cleveland Show, go out here, have this guy taking care of another man's kids. And as they are sitting there having this man take care of another man's kids, still out here getting their back blown out by this baby daddy behind the scenes, and further spending this man's money to take care of his kids, and sleeping in his bed, eating his food, and having a good laugh at him, having a good laugh at this dude because they don't respect this dude, don't respect him at all, and don't respect him because He's nobody that they care about outside of using him for resources, and that's why most smart men, again, avoid single mothers. We avoid single mothers because we already understand that this woman already is with another man, and we leave her to that man. That's what the lesson I learned back in 1989. If she got another dude and she step into you, you leave her to that dude and you leave her to that fate. You leave these chicks who are out here to that fate because they're looking to, again, get whatever they want. Okay, you want to get stuff from other dudes, you can go get your stuff from that dude who you were involved with, who you had them kids with. That's what any man is going to say to a woman who got kids. You and that man have a nice life, because in this social marketplace there are 4 women for every one man, and any man who goes out here and puts work on himself can find one of those women if he chooses to. He can find one of those women who basically is the right one for him and not waste his time of his life, because time is precious and you can't get time back. Can go out here and save his time, because you don't need to waste time out of your life dealing with a woman who just sees you as a pit stop in their life, a woman who sees you as a pit stop in their life for just a way, again, have a place to stay and some food to eat. No, they got welfare out there. So this woman can go get a job. You don't need to go out here and provide for a woman who doesn't want to, again, go out here and participate in the basic level of respect, doesn't want to submit to you, doesn't want you to see you as a man. No, this type of woman is the one who wanted to be in the streets, so you leave her to those streets and leave her to whatever happens to her. She's not the one that you save. No, you go out here and work with the woman who wants to be your partner and wants to be a partner who appreciates all that you do. That's what you do as a man, and go out here and leave women like this to the baby daddy that they basically really want to be with. Now, if you want to learn how to break out of the simp paradigm that guys like this wind up in, getting involved with women like this, you can pick up my book, The Misadventures of Captain Save-'em, on Amazon.com. And if you have Kindle Unlimited, you can read The Misadventures of Captain Save-'em for free. And you can pick up my other books to learn how to break out of this simp paradigm, like Stop Simping, Why Men Don't Need Finance to Get Romance, and Stop Simping in the Workplace. And if you're online, you can pick up Stop Simping in Cyberspace to avoid dealing with these type of female predators online. And you can also pick up my other books to learn why women like this are single, such as Why 70% of Black Women Are Single, and what leads to women like this being single and having a dysfunctional family. You can pick up that book, The Woman Crisis. Again, all of these books are available on Amazon.com in paperback and Kindle format. They're also available at other online booksellers like Draft to Digital, Google Play, Barnes & Noble, and big box retailers like Walmart and Target. And they've transformed the lives of men all across the globe, and they can help transform your life and help you learn how to be a better man and start on the road to becoming a man in God's order who's a head and a steward, as a man who understands his role as a man in God's order. And if you want to see me make more videos taking video clips like this to the barbecue for a deconstruction, you can drop a donation to the Patreon, the PayPal, or the Cash App by clicking the links in the description box. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe. Now available in paperback and e-readers, The Temptation of John Haynes. Give in to temptation and pick up this action-packed African-American paranormal romance. Get The Temptation of John Haynes in paperback and e-readers today. Now available for the first time in paperback, Why 70% of Black Women Are Single. Learn all the reasons why so many Black women can't find a husband and why 70% of Black women are single. Get your copy of Why 70% of Black Women Are Single on Amazon.com today. Support Black-owned and Black-operated digital broadcast media. www.niceradionetwork.com. Nice Radio Network, broadcasting 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.